What's up, everyone? This is Rayuka here, and today is another podcast. And
And another one.
another one. Today, I have Azure back on as a guest on this podcast, this lovely dysfunctional podcast. Just be aware, the podcast is for mature audiences, and for any
Yep.
links down below to any of our social medias, it'll be if you're watching this on YouTube or any video site that I have the podcast on. It'll be in the description down below. If not, there should be a link somewhere where you can find all the content. Well, channel and whatnot. So, yes, there's been quite a bit that has happened over the past week, I guess, when it comes to things.
I
Some of
have
the
no idea.
some of the spicier stuff I covered in a previous podcast, so I'm gonna leave that out because it falls in a bit to politics, I guess, sort of. Um,
You
yeah, but let's talk about some Call of Duty news. I mean, Call of Duty news. So Call of Duty is
is
gonna
dead.
get well, is gonna have his new Warzone map. That's their battle royale mode, and they delayed it, but apparently they delayed it until basically to where Halo Infinite officially releases. Then they're going to release this update, so it almost seems like it's a direct jab at Halo Infinite.
They're, tr- they're trying.
And look, for them to do that, you know what that tells me? It tells me they're not doing well. Because if Call of Duty was, I mean, given that they still sell a lot of dumb copies of the game, but I don't think it was like it was in its heyday. Like back then, they made a crap ton of money, but now because they never give Call of Duty a break and it's practically the same thing, it's not as much as it used to be. And for me, anyways, I don't see there being a difference with the newest one, Vanguard. It's
Yeah.
really nothing new. It's nothing revolutionary. It's the same crap, just with old weapons, going back to World War II again, or whatever it's set in. It's
I
it,
mean, it's Call of Duty. What do you expect?
no, but the point is, you would think it would be something new, and it's really nothing new because the game hasn't been. There's been no breaks. It's kind of the same issue that happened with Black Ops. You know, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and 4, how there wasn't really much of a difference. And it was like, oh, here's these classes and then all this. Oh, I forgot what they call them, operators now, right? That's the thing.
Even if they took a break, there's not much they can do.
No, it's gonna be the same crap. I mean, it's just like the whole thing right now, kind of segueing out of this Call of Duty stuff and going into the whole Grand Theft Auto trilogy. Now, I don't know if you heard Azure, but
They're
Grand Theft
remastering it.
that I don't know if I could call it remaster, but it was a train wreck. It's crazy how bad uh Grand Theft Auto Trilogy Definitive Edition turned out because they removed the digital ones off the stores because Rockstar is like, oh well, we're going to re-release this one, even though the they're going after well Take Two or whatever, they're going after the modders that do 100 times a better job than
Yeah, they
Rockstar in this
definitely
case.
do.
But for whatever reason, the textures and there's tons of images of it. Like it's really bad. Like the way some of the characters look and things like that. And apparently, Rockstar is planning to release a texture pack that's going to sort of fix um, Grand Theft Auto trilogy. I just it's laughable. It's Rockstar cashing in on their brand. That's what it is. They're cashing in.
Oh, of course. This is definitely a cash grab. That's why they removed it from the stores because they want you to go and buy this newer version.
Pretty much. Then there's the whole thing with Battlefield, where Battlefield, you have the whole thing with flying people. I mean, Angry Joe did a video where he shows all these problems, and I think he took it way to heart. I mean, I seen the video; it was funny to watch. I mean, he took it way to the heart though, for what it looked like. I mean, this man was yelling, but
Oh, he is angry
no,
Joe.
but I mean, like, there's one thing to be angry, and rant and whatnot, and then there's another thing like this, like, look,
Angry Joe.
this is my thing, right? If you see the previous Battlefield did bad, which it did to some extent, um, what makes people think that the same thing isn't going to happen with this one? I mean, this Battlefield was literally announced out of nowhere, and then it came out full of bugs. People are basically paying for a glorified beta at this point.
It's
That's what's
like
happening.
all these shooters coming out, all of them have glitches.
What you
All of them are bad.
mean?
They're all bad.
You didn't like Halo Infinite?
Nope.
Why?
Oh yeah. It's like that double shooting glitch. That's great.
See, I
It's
don't
like,
know what
yeah.
Azure experienced with Halo Infinite,
It's like, yeah. Halo,
but it seemed like he
Battlefield,
had a bad
Call of
experience.
Duty. It's like all of them. Shit.
Dave. I don't know. For me, I played a bit of Halo Infinite, and I experienced some weird things, and I took some photos of this. Like
Yeah.
I got banned for an hour for no reason. Uh, I
Like I
can't.
said, great game.
Yeah, like I can't explain why I was banned because I don't know. I even took pictures of this because I was just like, what the hell? And then I tagged Bungie. Well, not Bungie. It's not Bungie. Excuse me. Correction. 343 or the Halo Twitter account, whatever. Because they have that little stupid cookie verification, so it's obviously them. I'm assuming. And apparently I wasn't the only one that experienced this. A lot. It seems like people were just getting banned randomly. Um,
It's Outriders all over again.
yeah, it was weird. And then after an hour later, I tried to log back in, and then I wasn't banned anymore. But it didn't explain why I was banned. Um, and hey, another thing I noticed. I mean, it was fun. It had some sense of fun to me, anyways. I thought there was parts of it that were enjoyable,
It's Halo.
but like it feels like you got to put a lot of work in to take out a opponent. Like I get the whole thing that they're Spartans and they have armor and then they have that overshield and all that. Well, not the overshield, but they have that shield or whatever. But it's like it's a
No,
lot of work to take out like a
I know
Spartan
what you're
this time
talking
around.
about. Yep.
Yeah, like they made it. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I played
They're super
previous.
Spartans.
Yeah, like I played previous Halos, and it wasn't really as difficult compared to this one. In the sense of like how you have to take a player down. I mean, given you could get the little typical. I forgot the name of the gun, but that gun you charge, that little energy gun, and then you
With the
blast them,
green.
huh?
Yeah. With the green glowy light. That one.
Yeah, like if you charge it, then you shoot them once, it takes down their whole shield, and then if you switch
Yeah.
your weapons, it just makes it like easy to take them down.
Yep.
But in a weird way, it made me after playing Infinite, it made me want to play Splitgate because Splitgate, you have faster matches.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with Splitgate, you could just jump in and pretty much, just have a match within 15 to 20, not even 20 minutes, like 15 minutes or less. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not a lot that goes into that, but outside the portals and all that. But when it comes to Halo, it's like it's just a lot of work to take down a player. I mean, given
I
if you want
noticed.
my, uh
No, I say I noticed the respawning takes a little bit longer too.
that, but another thing, like if people want mindless fun, right, in the sense of like big team battle, and you just want to jump in there and get blown up in the Warhog or whatever, I huh?
No, that's too funny.
Then I mean, like I guess that makes sense, to jump in there and just be reckless, but overall the game has its pros and cons, at least from the multiplayer aspect. I would assume it will get better over time. That's just me guessing. Um, but I hope that I hope 343 isn't completely relying on their battle royale style multiplayer to carry Halo going forward because it seems like that's what it is.
Mm,
Um, but the campaign portion of it hasn't came out yet, so I would assume the campaign at least may be more redeeming. Um, but yeah,
hopefully.
hopefully. Um, but then I did this experiment. Now I have to take back what I said. I mentioned a couple podcasts ago, whatever, where I said, "Oh, I did TikTok shorts." Well, TikTok is short videos anyway, and then YouTube shorts. And I noticed more results at the time on TikTok. Well, I have to take that back because for whatever reason, it's like time froze on the TikTok, at least for the podcast TikTok. Don't know why.
Okay.
I can't explain it. I just don't know why that happened. But it did. And so I've been experimenting with the short vids on the gaming channel. And obviously I will continue experimenting with the YouTube beta also on the podcast channel, and as well putting those shorts on TikTok, and who knows where that will go. But as for the gaming stuff, what I've been doing with the gaming channel, I noticed that the shorts they've been fairly successful, surprisingly. Um, until they, I
That's because
guess,
people have a short attention span.
damn, what you trying to say?
You know what I'm trying to
What you
say.
trying to say? Trying to say
What
people
you
are done with these
said.
street stuff.
I mean, that kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, look, man. Look, Twitter is a dumpster fire to me. And when I don't know if I sent you the image. There was a trending, right? I gotta look it up real quick because you can't make this shit up. Like, y'all, obviously y'all can't see the image if y'all listening to it, but this was a thing on Twitter where it was trending that catch up did not exist. Like catch up does not exist. That
I,
was
I I
it,
think that's more of a figure of speech, though. I'm pretty
no,
sure
like
they
no,
weren't
people
serious.
were like arguing, saying that ketchup did not exist because like a mustard and all this stuff. Like it was the stupidest thing I read in my life because I'm
I need
like,
more context on that.
it had to do with French fries. People basically, it just went down this rabbit hole. So for what I, this is so stupid. Okay, so
Mhm.
it seemed like it started out about French fries, and people were talking about what stuff like sauces and whatnot they put on their fries. So people were like, I guess some people eat it with mayonnaise, mustard,
Yeah.
whatever. You know, everyone has their thing. But for whatever reason, it seems like a lot of people in Twitter spheres hates ketchup. So they're like, oh, if you use ketchup, well, it just doesn't exist. It's an American thing, so it can't exist. Also, it can't exist because it's like an American thing, apparently. When
I
I don't think
I'm pretty
anyone,
sure
no
they
one
were
looks
just
at, no one looks at it that way though.
like I said, I don't think they were serious about it. I think they were just saying like they don't like it, so it doesn't exist, not because it doesn't actually exist.
you know, whatever the reason may be, ketchup does exist. Um,
Well, yeah.
I just think the shit that people like, Twitter is this. This is why I say it's a dumpster fire. This is a perfect example. Like the topic I just brought up makes no fucking sense. It just it's the stupidest. It's stupid just as Twitter is. Like this is the stuff people fight about. Like we got all these important things going on in the world, right? And no, we have to just put speak it into to existence that because ketchup is so important right now, right? So we just have to say ketchup doesn't exist. Wow. Well,
It doesn't exist if you don't like it.
was that see that makes sense. It doesn't exist if you don't like it. I mean, it exists, but it doesn't. I guess.
I'm pretty sure that's what they meant.
So I put ketchup on my burgers, okay? But anyways, the King of Fighters 15. I mentioned this in the previous podcast, but the beta came out, and
Did you play it?
yeah, yeah, I did. I did mention how I believe I mentioned how I felt in the previous podcast, but I guess I'll rephrase it if I didn't. Um, I like SNK fighting games. That's no secret. For anyone that's been, on the gaming channel, I played a lot of SNK fighting games, and I don't know. The beta to me is boring, and let me explain this. It's like
Damn.
the characters are interesting. The game looks great. I mean, it does look great even for a beta. It looks great. If you're going up against Wi-Fi players, you're gonna have a bad match. If you're going up against players that have the Ethernet plugged in or whatever, you're gonna be good for the most part. But overall, it was overhyped. This goes back to the whole Twitter thing, man. Like people in the Twitter FGCs overhyping this damn thing. Comes out now, no one's talking about it. Everybody putting their clips. Oh, I could do a death combo. Oh my gosh, shit that the average player cannot do. And I'm just like, eh, eh. I'm not gonna. As much as I like SNK fighting games, I can't phrase this enough. I'm just, I feel you have to hold all things to the fire, right? If something's just a bit off or whatever. And the beta wasn't to me anyways shattering any big expectations, because that's like the catchphrase for this game right now. Shatter all expectations. But when it came to this beta, it just okay, yeah, that's it. Like it wasn't shattering my expectations. It was just like, okay, you get some characters you get to play with. They put some characters that I guess they figured people really wanted to see. So they were like, something, let's give them the classical, some of the return, whatever, and then some new. But that's about it. It's just like, it's just a beta. It's like, with any fighting game, you play a couple matches, then you get bored, after a while. It just happens. It's just, eh. But and there's really nothing more for me to add to this beta. Maybe if they decide to, I guess, do another wave, I guess, towards the end of the. I mean, not towards the end, but close to the release of the game, where
Like
they,
a beta part 2.
yeah, where they give more, I guess, more characters, a little taste of the story or something. I don't know. But as I said before, it seems like the common problem with it seems like the issue to me, anyways, when it comes to this beta is the overhype. There's too much overhype. I mean, don't get me wrong, I get people are excited for their favorite game or whatever, but at the same time, it's like there's such a thing as overhype, right? And you got fans sometimes that they're in denial and they want to blind themselves, and they just don't want to hear the truth. And for me, anyways, as someone that played a lot of SNK fighting games and enjoyed a lot of different fighting games, I'm also gonna keep it 100. And King of Fighters 15 beta was all right, but it wasn't shattering. It didn't shatter my expectations. That I will say. It was just all right. Yeah, but yeah.
Yep.
I don't know, because when it comes to the whole Twitter thing, man, and people, there's a lot of overhyping going on. I mean, I just think people need to be more mindful when they. I will encourage before purchasing a product. This is my suggestion. Ultimately I can't tell anyone what to do because that's, I'm just suggesting here. But
Do it. Just do
no,
it.
like just do your own research. Like if you see there's a fighting game coming out, wait till it releases. Just don't be like a sheep, and because you're a big content creator out there was like, yeah, this game's amazing. Let me make this video. Oh my goodness, I got an erection to here to the moon, or whatever the case may be.
To the moon.
My point is like do your own research. Wait like a week after this fighting game comes out. Any fighting game for that matter. Wait a week. See the reception. Look at both good and bad. Do your own research and then come to a conclusion if the game is for you. But you got those people out there that they're gonna be fans. They're gonna be hardcore, and they're gonna be like, I don't give a fuck what you're saying, man. I'm gonna buy that shit. It's the same thing with Call of Duty, right? We all know a person that's like, I ain't gonna get Call of Duty next year. I ain't gonna get that shit. All of a sudden, the first one's in line to get it. It's like, oh, okay. The same thing with Madden. It's funny that I've always seen people complain about Madden, and Madden makes another millions and millions of dollars when it releases again. I'm like, how you expect these people to change anything? There's a saying that goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's just like, what the hell? But circling,
it's making the money.
But circling back to the whole fighting game thing, my suggestion to anyone that is wondering, do your own research, see what's good for you or whatever. But I just wouldn't rush out there and buy, especially in this day and age where games release like buggy, incomplete, or whatever the case may be. I just wouldn't rush out there and pick anything up unless. I mean, think about it. The past couple years, and even you, I'm pretty sure Azure can vouch for this because you've seen it as much as I have, where fighting games over time have released and they become less and less and less in content at launch, and then they hit you with all this DLC later on. Now, the argument could be like, I guess the debate or whatever can be like, well, is it justified, right? Is it justified that they release all this DLC depending on how much content is in the game? If it's lacking, if the roster is small, but yet they're hitting you like with a crap ton of DLC with a ridiculous price, is it even worth it? It goes in any direction. Now that I think about it. But anyways, I'm confusing myself. I'm just a brain fart right now. Just my head just. So not that far long ago, Project L. For those who don't know, that's the basically the League of Legends or fighting game.
This is because you were watching Arcane.
Yes, I did see I did see that whole because I don't want to spoil it, but I sort of spoiled it before the podcast. I sort of spoiled quite a bit. So I did see the show Arcane, and I do want to be clear. I'm not a fan of MOBAs. That's just what it is. Nothing against anyone that is. It's just not my squeeze. But I'm aware. I pretty much got a good gist of the lore, I guess, to some extent when it comes to Arcane with Jinx. Well, that's one of her names, anyways.
There's other characters besides her.
Well, yeah, but the story, and at least in season 1, a lot of it revolves around her. Not only her, a few other characters, but she's like the main piece in a bigger, evolving world.
Don't spoil.
But I'll just say this for those wondering my thoughts of Arcane. It's a good show, especially if you want to know more of the world of League. But for me, anyways, I felt that I had mixed feelings at the end when it came to Jinx. I had a lot of mixed feelings. Huh?
I would say any more, you'll be spoiling.
Well, I think for anyone that watches it, I'm assuming some people may feel conflicted or some may not. Some people just be like, stay the same with whatever thought pattern they had before going into it. But for me, I'm just not, after finishing season 1, I'm just not the biggest fan of the character. I'll leave it like that. Like, she's a cool looking character. Like, okay, how can I put it? She's cool looking aesthetically, right? Like, looking at the character, she's whatever. But like, now knowing her story, I'm like, I'm not trying to spoil it, but if y'all decide to watch the show, it's just, yeah, y'all figure out why I feel the way. Look, I'm just gonna say this: the little fluffy man. And when y'all watch the show, you're gonna know who he is. He's a little fluffy dude, the Gremlin. He's legendary. Okay, to me, he's right. You're gonna know what he was right the whole time. I'm gonna leave it like that. He was right. When you watch the show and you get to the end, Hopefully you understand what I mean when I say little
What?
fluffy man was right. The little gremlin dude. I'll leave it like that. That's all I'm gonna say about Arcane. But yeah, Project L was announced. Obviously, the character, at least the designs, they're seem pulled right out of the show.
Taking that L.
The name is still so weird to me because jokes like
I
that.
mean,
I could see
it
jokes
stands
like
for league.
I know it stands for league, but like there's gonna be jokes like that for days. And you're gonna see people like, oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna take an L. Oh, like something is gonna happen.
Well, hopefully it's good, so it doesn't
No,
become
because you know it would
serious.
be embarrassing. I mean, I doubt the game's gonna release like whenever it's done or whatever. It's gonna release bad. I doubt it's gonna be a bad game at release. But but let's say it turns out bad, which I don't think is
Hmm.
gonna happen because this game's been in development forever. But let's say, but what if it turned out bad, right? Then that L it's gonna stand for a lot more than just the game itself. But I doubt it though. I think when the game releases, I think it's gonna be fair. I'm hoping it's gonna be fairly good. Um, talking about that, it kind of segue into this whole multiverses. I think I told you about that when the Warner Brothers Smash Bros, where they got like everybody up in there. Batman, Wonder Woman.
There's Smash Bros.
Okay, so Warner Brothers made their own. It's basically their Smash Bros. It's called Multiverses, and
Hmm.
it has like Buzz Bunny. At least what they showed in the trailer, Shaggy, and the meme Shaggy for it seems like because he has like a Super Saiyan mode or whatever.
Oh, okay. You did.
Yeah,
Okay, I remember.
yeah. So that one though is going to be free to play, and in the previous podcast I did talk about it quite a bit, but I'm just going to rephrase a bit of it here. It's basically as I just said, it's going to be Warner Bros. Smash Bros. Who knows how many characters are going to be in there? My concern is if it turns out like Brawlhalla,
Hmm.
they lose me right there because I won't support that game. Period. Um, for those who don't know, Brawlhalla, um, the way that game is set up is it's everything is like you gotta buy for it. Everything. It's like you can't. There is no that I know of. There is no way to like buy the game in whole. So it's like it's just not worth it. So to me,
Hmm.
if that's the model they're going with for this game, I just don't see it doing well in the long term. I don't care what any of these big content creators say. I'm gonna just keep it real. I just don't see it doing good in the long term. I just don't. I think a lot of people will drop off. I mean, given if the community is strong and they just want to keep dumping money into it because they might get a Potter character or a Lord of the Ring character or whatever, then hey, that's possible, and
Hasn't
it keep the game alive, I guess.
hasn't already been out forever?
What you mean?
Brawlhalla, hasn't it been out for a long time?
Oh yeah, that's been out for a long time, very long time. But multiverses that's coming out, I believe next year. It's gonna have Batman. It's basically having all types of characters in there, like all kinds. But for me, it's like if they go with the business model similar to Brawlhalla, I'm just gonna pass on it. I don't care what they add in there. It's just gonna be like, you know. It depends who they're really aiming to appeal with this game. I mean, given that they had some cool characters even from Cartoon Network in there. I mean, they had Jake, not well, I don't know if it was Jake or Finn, but they had the Adventure Time peoples, the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm expecting more Adventure Time characters. Just saying. I'm surprised Courage the Cowardly Dog didn't appear, man. I didn't see Courage. He should be in there too. Uh, there was a rumor
This
that
generation doesn't know who he is.
another character I'm surprised that I did not see in the trailer was at least as of this recording, Johnny Bravo. A lot. I mean, it's weird because he was supposedly in the leak, and
Again,
what?
he's probably just not popular with this generation.
But then they'll add Dexter. I would not be surprised, or the Powerpuff Girls, because think about it.
because they're still relevant.
The Powerpuff Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I mean, I know they were gonna do the live action Powerpuff Girls, but that bombed
Oh,
because
that was terrible.
yeah, that the stuff that I've read up on
Absolutely garbage.
the stuff that I read up on that live action one that didn't air. I don't even think it got greenlighted at this point. I'm not sure, but the last time I kept up with it, it was a train wreck. It sounds like a whole train wreck. That whole show it just sounds. I think it will ruin their careers. Whoever takes on those roles. It's like the Batwoman show, right? Like who watches that? It's
What's that?
exactly like who watches that? Like it's trash. Like you had the actress walk out, I believe in season 2 or 1 or whatever. Like no, not season 1. I think it was like during 2 or something like that. It's been some time since I kept up with it, but like who the hell watches that? And it's the same with Flash. Like Flash was good, don't get me wrong. The first 2 seasons to me were great. But Flash went off the rails, man. Like I don't even know what the hell's going on. Like I stopped keeping up with the Flash.
I haven't
Um
watched Flash in so long.
yeah, like I just stopped because it's all over the place. And the same with I know the Arrow finished a long time ago. I think some time ago. Um, that was another show that kind of almost went off the rails, and then Supernatural ended. Oh man, but Supernatural was good, man. I'm not. I don't know. For me, I watched all seasons, and Supernatural was that show to me that I think if it was to carry on, it probably would have had got ruined. But at least it ended before that happened, and it was that show was really good, man. Um, I mean, a spinoff would be nice, I guess, but I don't know how they'll work around that without ruining it. Um, but yeah, Supernatural was great. But then you have all the stuff going on in the comics, like apparently the whole X Men, the writers for the X Men '97 are going, they're losing their minds on Twitters and writing some reckless stuff or whatever. I'm just like, I'm calling it right now. I have my hopes for X Men. Like I have no hope for X Men '97 at this point. I'm just like, some things I mentioned this before. I'll say it again. Some things shouldn't get brought back. Period. I just think some things should just be left alone, and then that industry should make something totally new. But instead, it's like, hey, why not give nostalgia, right? Nostalgia sells if you do it right, that is. But if you do it wrong, yeah, you're gonna lose a lot of people in the process. Um, but then, meanwhile, in other things going on, Dungeon Fighter Duels is coming out with I think trailer already came out. From what I'm reading here, it's out. It's out somewhere out there. Um, oh yeah, it's out. So I'm looking at these screenshots.
Mm-hmm.
Yet again, the Arc System Works doing this Dungeon Fighter Duel whatever trailer, and it's just the question I ask myself is, should I care? You know, should I care for this game? Because there's going to be different sides to this, right? You're going to have the usual, the people hyping it up, right? They're going to make like 1 or 2 videos just based off this one little trailer. They're going to be like, hey, look at the screenshots. They might have air cancels, Roman cancels, all kinds of cancels. We got cancel. We got cancel on cancel. We got CCC. Look, we got all kinds of stuff going. I mean, it's one teaser. It's like what, the second teaser trailer, whatever, and somehow people get like 100 different things out of it. But for me, it's true. Like I don't know if you ever noticed that. Like there's some channels out there that they'll release like this little trailer, and then all of a sudden, because someone's in the FGC, you know, they become an expert in teasers. So they suddenly figure out like all the mechanics in this trailer. They'll be like, let's say if it's uh, this trailer in this case, right? This new Dungeon Fighter. I wouldn't be surprised if people start already saying, oh, there might be Roman cancels, there might be this, there might be that, because you know, it's Arc System Works. So even though a lot of the Roman cancel stuff is this mainly in Guilty Gear, not so much in other stuff, but hey. Yeah, I'll put it like this. This is my thoughts right now on Dungeon Fighters. There's not enough to go off of right now. until they release more information outside these little teaser trailers to hype people up. Then, but right now it's just why should I care? This reminds me of the whole Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, right? Arc System Works, I believe, made that. And then there was all this hype before the game came out, and then people were like, "Yeah, for Grand Blue Fan." Nobody knew what the fuck it was, but everybody was just hyped. They're like, "Yeah, anime teaser, yeah." And then game comes out, and now it's dead. Unpopular opinion, I know, but it's technically dead. Like, ain't nobody talking about this game. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm pretty sure if Grand Blue Fantasy was to release a DLC character, then all of a sudden people will come out the woodwork. Like, oh, look, it's alive somehow. Oh, damn. Oh, look at that, Johnny. But other than that, the game is dead right now. Ain't nobody talking about it. It's the same thing with Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Oh, my gosh. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. Like, the amount of shit people was talking. Like, oh, this game's going to be amazing. Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. Shit, they didn't even finish the Sacred Kagura team. There's, like, I believe, I don't even know how many Sacred Kagura characters are in that game. I'm like, first off, Cross Tag Battle, all right? They were charging for characters that should have been in the game. People were arguing and say, well, no, I mean, I don't want to hear the excuses. That game, since its release, was a wreck. Then they figured by adding Ruby characters that, I mean, no offense to any Ruby fans out there, but I don't give a shit. And they're like, well, this is going to sell it more. But yet the game is dead. Every now and then you see people on Twitter. Of course, I have to go back to the garbage Twitter. And you see people on there crying about, oh, well, crying out for people to play the game online, bring it back to life. It's not going to happen. Like that's it. Unless they re-release a complete edition, which I don't see that happening anytime soon. It's dead in the water. For now, that is. I could go ranting all day on all this stuff. It's just ridiculous. I'm not saying people shouldn't be happy to see a fighting game they like, though it sounds like that because I'm trashing it for what it sounds like. But what I'm saying is that, and I said it before, be mindful. Y'all need to do your own research. Because I see people hyping every fighting game, right? And I'm sorry to say, not all fighting games are a hit. Not all of them. Like, I could easily name a few fighting games, in my opinion, that aren't that good. And I played a lot of fighting games. And I can name a few that they're just not good. And they're not hot like the way a lot of these people making them out to be. They're just not. But you have these people out here, they're just being reckless, man. They don't care. They're like, yo, I need the views in my videos because I need a check. I need to make money. Hey, man, I get it. It's a hustle. People are trying to turn a profit, but I just think people need to be a bit more real. That's all I'm saying.
Going off on a little tangent here, huh?
Yep. I went off the rails a bit, just a bit. See, that's why Azure's here. He's putting me on check. Oh, talk about Cowboy Bebop.
No, not going there.
I had to. I think I talked about this in a previous podcast, but I had to reanalyze.
Oh boy!
Look, this show is fucking bad. But when I did the previous podcast, I was being nice when I was talking about Cowboy Bebop. Like I look, I'm just gonna say this. I just can't get over how the only thing mainly accurate in that show was the dog. Like,
stop.
I see people trying to give.
Listen, Ian is the best character in the world.
Yeah,
all he does is go woof woof.
I feel bad for the person that played Ed because they're trying to put Ed as a they, like their pronouns, I guess, is a they now. Like it's not a she or he. Yes, I'm not making this shit up. And I'm like, look, they're already fucking
no, but I'm
up.
saying no. Ed is a girl. That's confirmed.
We know that. I watched the anime. I mean, I know what I saw in the anime. I mean, I grew up watching Cowboy Bebop. Fun fact.
Exactly.
But apparently, if you
ruining our childhood,
if you hand over an anime to Hollywood or Netflix, They're
I
gonna
know.
look. If people haven't learned from fucking Death Note, I don't know. I just don't know what to tell people. I'm like, look, Netflix. There's some things they hit out the park. Some things they just do very well. And then there's a lot of things for what I've noticed, and I say a lot because there's a list. There's a lot of negatives that they just. I don't know if it's on purpose or what. They just fuck up. There's no nice way to put it. It's just ugly screwed. And what they did to Cowboy Bebop, I see like rumblings of a season two. No, 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 no season two. Just don't do it. I just no. I think as for the actors, maybe they could give them roles for other shows or Netflix movies or whatever the hell they're gonna do. Like, I'm sorry to say, they should start looking for other roles and stuff. I don't. I just no Cowboy Bebop season two. This show's dead. It's already dead. Okay, like I think the actors that tried to some extent, they should just get roles somewhere else. Doing something else. I look, man. I hope there's not a day that Disney grabs Dragon Ball. That's all I'm saying. Because if Netflix can't pull it off with Death Note or in this case Cowboy Bebop, imagine if Disney had you know some rights to Dragon Ball, at least the series, to make live action movies. Now there'd be two sides of the argument. I could already see people be like, "Well, it's not canon to the Dragon Ball anime, so it's like the MCU, so they could do whatever they want." And now Goku's pronouns are gonna be they. He's not a he. He's not. He's just they because he's an alien from space. I don't know what bullshit these people will make up, but I don't want a live action Dragon Ball Z movie. I don't want no live action Dragon Ball movie. I mean, look, if people haven't learned from Dragon Ball Evolution,
We don't talk about that. I never want to hear those words come out of anyone's mouth ever again.
we all saw Goku in high school.
Because that was totally accurate.
Piccolo appeared like what in the end or some shit. If that,
Yo, so
yeah, Master Roshi living on this weird like that whole movie was just oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was memes for days, memes for days. Um, and then fun fact, there was also a live action King of Fighters movie a couple years back, and you can find clips of this shit. The live action one, oh man, it's so bad, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm like, uh, you know, it kind of reminds me of the Street Fighter movie from back in the day with Jean Claude Van Damme. It's been some time. That movie was really cheesy for its time, but it worked, kind of worked, but it was just really bad.
What about the Dead or Alive live action?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dead or Alive, huh? No, they took that movie and that movie was trash. It's just like the Tekken movie. The only good thing in the Tekken live action movie was the song. That was it. What was it from Sick Puppies? It's been a long time coming, and the tables turn around. Hopefully, I don't get copyrighted because I'm not even fucking trying here. But like, that was the only good thing was the song. Everything else, and then some of the costumes, kind of, but everything else was trash in that movie. It was just like, what is this? Like, I think Jid's mom or whatever blew up in the apartment.
I know it sounds terrible, but yeah.
That fucking movie was all over the place. Oh my gosh. It's just so bad. You had Yoshimitsu and shit in there. Like you had characters that made no sense being in there. Apparently, I don't know if it was like Kazuya. I think he like banged Christine Montiero or some shit like that whole. I don't know if it was that Kazuya or Jin. I don't even know. It's been some time, but that whole movie.
I don't remember.
That whole movie was a train wreck, but it was a hilarious one.
Welcome to the movie segment of this podcast.
Man, bad movies, man. It's just like the Super Mario one, the live action one. It was you know, that movie got a lot of shit, but not for nothing. In the alternate reality, I would have liked to see a sequel to that bad movie. Like that is probably
Which
the only
movie?
no lie, that's probably the only bad movie I would have wanted to see a sequel to. Because I'm
The
like,
Mario
yeah,
Brothers?
yeah, Princess. That was like the only time we saw Princess Peach with a fucking gun. She comes in the end. She's like, basically, shit ain't
Yeah,
over yet. And it's like,
Peach is
oh,
gangster.
huh?
Peach is gangster.
Yeah, like you knew there was something more about to happen, but yeah, that never continued. It was just like, eh. And apparently, like when they were like doing the production movie and stuff, it was like hell. Apparently, the actors had a hard time. Oh man, so many. There's so
Yeah.
many bad movies that. Uh, we should start talking about bad animes.
There's lots.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of some, but I mean,
Well, how many have you watched?
the one that pops up first in my head. Look, I'm gonna just say this. I enjoy Dragon Ball Z. All right, I love the Dragon Ball series. My favorite
Okay.
transformation so far is still Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. But look, GT wasn't good. Okay, I'll never forget.
Oh,
I'll never forget the song.
what? That's the theme
For
song.
those who don't know, in the U.S., the Dragon Ball GT era, and it had this infamous. It had the Grand Tour. I think it's
Yes.
like you type it in the Dragon Ball GT Grand Tour
Yes.
song or something like that. And it was the music
We
video.
used to make fun of it all the time.
Now I don't know if they could. I don't know if anyone can find the music video, but I know on the DVDs, which
Hold
I
on.
have the
I'm
music
looking
video.
it up now.
The music video is on the DVD, and I think there was a point in time where they were like taking down videos for playing the song and shit. Um, but the song was so bad. It was just so bad for his time. He said Grand Tour, or some shit. It was
So so it looks like they have wait,
the music video
is
is
this
like
it?
what I
Hold
mean.
on. I think it's still
It
on YouTube.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the best quality, I would imagine.
Yeah. 9 years ago.
Damn, that was like way back in ancient times.
In ancient times, a decade ago.
That was when anime had some freedoms, because everything is like censored to oblivion. What's another
That's
and
too funny. It still exists.
I'm trying to think of another anime that I thought was kind of bad. I was never a big fan of SD Gundam, at least the anime. Um, Something about it drew it off for me. I can never get into SD Gundam. Um,
Yeah, that was a little
I
I
mean,
remember the
given
game
like
too.
when people like not people, but when Bandai Namco made like actual Gundam models off of those SD Gundams, they're the coolest thing to look at. Like the Night Gundam, like the actual, it looks amazing. But the SD forms, I just cannot dig into it. I was just like, it's just give me Gundam. That was my thing. I just wanted Gundam. Not for nothing. I would have had liked if they continued Gundam Wings, but that ended the way it did. Oh man, but there is a lot of bad animes, I guess.
Ghost Stories.
I never even heard of that one.
Dear Lord. The dub is so bad. It's hilarious and entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but it's bad.
It's kind of like
But
what
it's so bad that you can't stop watching it though.
damn. I
It's
mean,
like it's like it's like pugs. They're so ugly, they're cute.
you would know about pugs.
Well,
Look, as
that's an inside joke. My aunt had a pug, and he was so ugly, he was cute.
his name was Bingo. He was
Bingo.
legendary. Bingo had interesting life. Let's just say that. Bingo.
What's his name? Oh,
He was a big pug. I mean, Bingo was big pug.
let's just say he was eating good in his old age.
Wait, what?
Let's just say he was eating good in his old
Oh, he
age.
definitely was. He was like a moving pillow, kind of. He was just big. It was like think of a meatball, and you put like
Ah,
and you make the
with
meatball,
legs.
and you put like little like you put toothpick like little sticks.
Yes.
And it was like that was Bingo. He just kind of got around that way. Uh, Bingo was a big dog, big pug. He went out like a gangster. That's um, but yeah,
For those who made it this far, they're just like, what the hell?
yeah. People probably like, what the hell are they talking about? Bingo. Look, Bingo was a dog. I get it. There was a game called Bingo, but this for whatever reason, this dog was called Bingo. Okay, just Bingo the dog, and he in heaven now. I'm guessing.
Damn.
I'm not even sure to be honest. It's a
All dogs
mystery,
go to heaven. There's a movie about that.
and with a few sequels, I believe.
I don't know. I forgot.
Damn. Uh, oh, but now that we're talking about stuff like that, so now that I thought about the shorts again on YouTube, uh, so I've been getting a lot of comments on a lot of these shorts, right? And the ones that, especially specifically the Fortnite one, I, the
Oh
fact that this
boy. Minecraft with guns.
the fact that there's people commenting saying that there's so many comments that just keep popping up saying, "Oh well, it's a bot, it's a bot, man. Those are bots. Those squads are bots." It's like, look, it, it, that game is online now. I don't know if those were actual people or bots because when I was in that match, and I have those, the full match is on Bishu, by the way. For those who are wondering, like if you want to see the full match, it's on Bishu. It's old. That clip, that snippet was from that match. But what I find funny about that is that there's just people that play that like that. Whether maybe they had a bad day or whatever, but that just happens. And when I play, there's a lot of times where I just take down squads. And I'm not saying that to sound arrogant. That just happens when I play. I just take down people left and right. But then you always go against those people that build for days. And in the game now, they got fireflies or whatever. So you throw fireflies and you burn down their building unless they have
That
steel or
sounds
whatever.
hilarious.
Yeah, but it's like it's ridiculous. Like the comments are just people like saying bot squad, bots. Oh, those are the baddest bots. I'm like, look, if those are bots, that tells me Fortnite's doing real bad.
Listen, I'd be like, you guys are bots because all you do is repeat yourselves.
At a point, it does look like the comments are bots because like so many people are saying that. I'm just like, I just don't think it's bots. I believe those were actual people that they were just grouped up in a squad being close together and they just happened to be in my way and I took them down. That's what happened. That's what's in the clip.
Ooh.
So shit like that does happen. It's just like the Halo stuff, right? When I put the clip for Halo Infinite, I got the rockets, blasted two people, and then when I jumped, the character got stuck in the wall, and then I kept running. And then a guy commented saying, "Did you not know that your rockets were empty?" I'm like, "Did you not see?" Like I'm reading these comments, and I'm saying to myself, "Did this person don't realize that I switched my gun to melee the guy upside the head that was standing over lookout, and then I went and threw two plasma grenades and blew up the two people next to me?" Like, did he not put two and two together, or was he just focused on your rockets were empty? Like,
He wanted more rockets, okay?
I just sometimes the comments baffle me. But some of the funnier comments I've seen was the Mortal Kombat stuff. Now, like the one where I put a Scorpion, what Scorpion thinks of Melina, and I know there's a lot of Melina fans out there. But the funny one to me was Liu Kang's gift to Melina, because that was the snippet I put, and Liu Kang's fatality. He dropped the arcade on her, so that was the gift. You dropped the arcade. The comment, there was this one comment I got where this guy just went all crazy in the comment. But I'll just say some parts of this comment. He put, "I hate you because she died," and then blah 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 blah.
What?
Yeah, yeah. The person put, "I hate you because she died," and then blah. It just goes with the profanity, like a whole paragraph on why the person hates me now because Melina's dead. And the shorts are meant to be funny. I
She
don't.
was gonna die anyway.
Well, that's that. You're talking about the story, the main story. That's a whole different conversation. Even though she died like multiple times, but
You're
the 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 shorts are meant to be funny and catchy. The titles at that. So I guess it tells me that the titles and whatnot are working because people seem to take it seriously when it's just a joke. But we live in a day and age where you can barely joke about anything anymore. So I'm thinking like maybe the next clip I put up of Mortal Kombat,
dream.
I should put like what Quan Chi thinks of Scorpion, and then he like fatality Scorpion and beats him with his own leg. No, that is a fatality. Oh my gosh. Then people gonna get mad. How can you say that about Scorpion? He's just such a great guy, even though he killed by the Lin Kuei and crap. Like, it's just a game. It's whatever. Anyways, um, yeah, the YouTube Shorts been a very interesting thing to see unfold. But oh, another thing that I could think of, I'm also like gonna do one on Destiny too. Snippet on some stuff there. That's gonna be fun. Um,
Hmm.
Thinking about revisiting Destiny, but not sure. Um, Time will tell.
It is your destiny.
Finishing Destiny. But yeah, that's the end of this podcast. It's pretty late actually of this as of this recording, anyways. I thank Azure for joining me on this one, and thank you, the listener, if you made it this far in this podcast and listened to all the
All two of
dysfunctionality.
you.
Wait, what?
I said all two of you.
Wait, all two of me?
You said for whoever made it this far. I said all two of you.
Um, wait, and you mean two of you? I'm so confused.
Forget it.
Look, we're tired right now. Okay, I don't know what's going on. But
You're the only one that doesn't know what's going on.
I'm confused. You say two of you. There's only one of me. Well, anyways, thanks for all those who tuned in. If you made it this far, if you're new, uh, feel free to follow or subscribe. That's appreciated. I'll leave links down below in the description. So if you want to follow any of our social medias or whatever, it'll all be there in one link. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, thanks for listening. And this is Rayuka saying, until next time, everyone, sayonara.
Good night, everyone.